Thank you, Marty. As he said, we had the honor last night of being awarded the Utility of the Year, and it was a great honor. As I said last night, it's nice to be recognized by a third party. You know, you think you're on the right path, you think you have the right strategy, but when you get recognized by someone outside, it does feel pretty good. What I'd like to do today is talk to you a little bit about Xcel and where we are and what we're doing. Let me start with, and the map that was just up here shows some of the advantages we have. You know, with energy being the focus right now back here in D.C., it's very important that we understand where we're going. We at Xcel Energy have been focused on what we call a clean energy future, and we've been at it for quite a while. Now, one of the advantages we have is that we have great geography. If you remember from the map, all the good wind and solar is right down the middle part of the United States. Well, that happens to be where we serve. We always claim it's great management, but the truth is that geography does have something to do with it. But let me tell you what we think at Xcel. We have one of the best portfolios, renewable portfolios in the nation. And it is because of these geographical advantages, but it's also because of our commitment to be environmental leaders. And we've made a lot of progress. Today, Xcel Energy is the #1 wind provider in the United States. We have almost 3,000 megawatts online right now. We will plan to have about 7,400 megawatts online by 2020. We also want to own some of the wind energy. We've started to build and own our own, and so that's the direction we'll go. We're also #5 in the United States in solar capacity. We operate a solar rebate program for customers called Solar Rewards that's growing quickly, and we just announced an RFP that we've gone out for 600 megawatts of new solar power. Some of that will be with storage capacity. Turning to biomass and hydro, as mentioned, is also very important. In Wisconsin, we have plans for the largest biomass plant in the Midwest. Depending on the approvals, your duct tape isn't holding too well, Warren. Yeah, I got it, I think. We should start building in 2010. It'll be online in 2012. I said it'll be the largest biomass plant in the Midwest. We're also refurbishing hydro plants in Wisconsin, and we're relicensing several of them. So hydro and biomass is also a big part of what we're doing. As was mentioned earlier, transmission is very important to deliver renewable energy, especially wind power, because it's not near the cities where you need it. We are making big investments in transmission. In both Minnesota and Colorado, we've joined with all the other utilities in the state to come up with a plan for the states to meet the transmission needs on a regional basis as opposed to an individual basis. The effort is further along in Minnesota, where the approval process is well underway, and in fact we do have some approval, and we'll start construction soon. Nuclear power. We also believe in nuclear power, and we think it's part of the clean energy future. With that in mind, we've secured all the necessary approvals to relicense one of our nuclear plants and have applied to relicense both units of the other plant. So obviously that's part of our future. We're also planning on making significant investments to upgrade the plants where we can add approximately 235 megawatts to all 3 units in both plants. Obviously, our nuclear plants have no greenhouse gas emissions, so it helps us reach our goals on climate change. In another climate change effort, we'll soon complete a major emissions reduction project in Minnesota. We converted 2 coal-fired plants to natural gas and completely refurbished a 3rd coal-fired plant with advanced emission reduction equipment. In Colorado, we'll bring a new coal plant online at the end of this year, and we're refurbishing 2 existing plants. And this is a project we started several years ago, and after we reached a comprehensive settlement with several prominent environmental groups. We'll more than double the capacity of the output of this plant while lowering overall sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide emissions from the plant. So we're very proud of what we've been able to do at this plant. Bringing a new unit online also helps us retire older units, which we are in the process of doing. Less efficient plants have been retired. We proposed a resource plan in Colorado that reduces system-wide CO2 emissions by 10% over the next several years, even with the new coal units. So this is an absolute reduction in CO2, not a reduction in the amount of the increase. As was mentioned earlier, conservation, of course, is also an effective way to reduce greenhouse gases. We've been working with customers for more than 20 years on ways to conserve energy. Over that time, our customers have saved in the neighborhood of 3,000 megawatts, which is the equivalent of about 10 medium-sized plants. So it's been very, very effective. Several of our states have established ambitious new conservation goals. So despite the fact we've been very aggressive up to now, we still have a big task ahead of us. New technology, that's been mentioned several times before. while we've made great strides, it's not enough to get us to where our goals are, is what we want to reduce greenhouse gas by. For that, we're going to have to rely on new technology. Some of you might have heard about our Smart Grid City, which is in Boulder, Colorado, which is an effort to bring together all the technologies, the smart grid technologies, in one pilot project. And it's obviously going to teach us a lot about where we can go in the future, what can be accomplished, and we have all these tools at our disposal. We can decide now which ones work, which one the customers want, and which will move forward on the rest of our system. In Minnesota, we have a project underway to examine the potential of storing wind power in big batteries. So far, it looks very promising. The only downside is that they are very big batteries. But if we could figure out a way for storage and make it easier for us to add more renewables to our service territory. And we've made some good progress on that. In Colorado, we're working with the National Renewable Energy Lab and others to develop a National Solar Technology Advancement Center. This center will give us the opportunity to test all the new solar projects as they come out, and then we can pick and choose and see which one works best for us and for others. So it will work very well. So that's a quick summary of our environmental efforts. Again, I'm proud to be here. To achieve the kind of clean energy that we're looking for and that the President and members of Congress are talking about, we believe that you have to have a lot of tools in your toolbox. And I've named out the ones that we're working on today: renewable energy, nuclear power, emissions reduction, conservation, new technologies. Those are all parts of what we need to do. However, the next step, as was mentioned earlier, we do need public policy. We need sound public policy. And I guess we're going to be talking about that later this morning. But we need a bill that includes some kind of measure of flexibility for all the companies. As you've seen from the maps that we talked about earlier, all utilities aren't created equal, and we're not all serving in the same part of the country. Someplace wind is very good, someplace it's not. So we need a policy that's flexible, one that can be adopted by all of us in the industry. As I said earlier, all of us are willing, and we're willing to move ahead and tackle this problem. We just need to get the rules out there so we can advance it. All in all, I guess, there'll be plenty of challenges. It's kind of an exciting time, as I said last night, to be in the industry, and it is a lot of fun to be here now. So with that, I'll conclude. Marty, thank you.